at the AAPOR conference with Peter Miller, who's the outgoing president of AAPOR. They rotate in one-year terms. Peter's initiative for the past year has been a transparency initiative that he discussed at length in a speech to the conference today and announced some news about it. So let me just start for those who don't know much about this. What is the transparency initiative? Why is AAPOR taking it on?
So AAPOR has taken on an effort to encourage disclosure of methodological information by all survey firms, regardless of what kind of work they do, as long as they release data to the public. And we're encouraging them by essentially saying we would like to honor you or recognize you for doing this. And we think this will be an effective way to get people to participate because we have a kind of reputation which
well, let's talk about that for a second.
Which allows us to make a difference.
AAPOR has had a code of ethics for a long time about disclosure, and you've taken some sort of punitive action. How is this? Talk about how this is going to be different.
Yes, we have a code, and the code provided that we could enforce it. We could respond to complaints about people who violated the code, and we would do this on a periodic basis. But frankly, it was too periodic, and it wasn't as effective in terms of achieving the goal of getting people in general to disclose information as we would have liked. And as a consequence, we think by turning it around and making it a positive incentive for us to essentially give our good name in support of people who will do this proactively, that we may be able to achieve more than we have with many years of trying to enforce it punitively.
Okay. So the big news I heard today was that you announced the names of the organizations who, as of today, have pledged to participate. Can you share some of that? It's a long list, I know, but
it is a long list, and it's frankly very heartening to have such a long list because when we started this out, we just didn't know if anybody would be interested. But as it happens, we have very major survey organizations in the country, the major media organizations, ABC, Washington Post, New York Times, CBS, Knowledge Networks,
Pew Research, Survey USA, right.
RTI, Research Triangle, some of the really large, prominent organizations, as well as a lot of smaller shops, but small but important shops, such as the University of New Hampshire Survey Center, which plays an important role every time we have a presidential election, and a lot of other university shops. And after I talked, I had 3 different organizations walk up to me and hand me cards and say, we'd like to participate too. So I think this is a good start. I am confident that we will pull more people in over time as the details of this initiative become clearer. We have to work out how this is exactly going to work. And that'll be the work of committees that we're setting up now. And they will work over the summer and then through into early next year to come up with a structure and an actual way for organizations to disclose it.
So participating isn't just sort of signing on the dotted line. Participation is about the nature of the data, of the disclosure data that's provided, right?
Right. So we're asking organizations who want to participate to help us shape the disclosure information that we will then collect from them and archive. And so this will be a matter of working among the technical folks and the AAPOR standards folks and the various possible participants to define a template that they can all live with. We don't want to make this so complicated that people won't do it in the final analysis. On the other hand, we don't want to make it so easy that virtually anybody could do this without, and we would be lending our good name to virtually nothing. So it's a balance, and we'll work it out over the next year or so.
Last question, and I'll keep it quick. If you're just an ordinary poll junkie who comes to a site like pollster.com, when can you expect to see the fruits of this in a tangible way as a consumer of polling data?
Yeah, so I would guess we're looking at spring of 2011. Around the time of the AAPOR conference, we'll have the beginnings up and running, and then we'll develop more from there.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to tell
Well,
her?
I hope that the folks who are seeing this will look for this once we get it going, because if it's going to be effective, it will be effective because people are paying attention to what we're trying to offer and actually using this information to make judgments about polls. So I hope they will.
Very good. Thank you, Peter Miller.
My pleasure.